Welcome back to Brass Tacks, where we dive into strategy, tactics, and tough decision making in gaming. Today, we're continuing our journey in This is the Police 2 with December 27th. Let's go. Kurosawa didn't come into work. Dolce didn't come into work. Luna didn't come into work. You need to pay Fry tonight. Get ready, otherwise an anonymous call will tell the feds exactly where to look for you. Mr. Nash, things are going great at the theater. Here's your share, $381. Shooting at the city center. A driver with a large jeep is driving around the city, shooting a pistol wildly. Mulligan, Williams, Clayton, Salikov, Sullivan, and Flower Pots go. Melvin Stanfield, Roseberry Medical Center. Mr. Nash, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the guy who wanted to arrange an explosive offer for his bride and asked for your help. Anyway, Alora and me got married and went on a nice honeymoon to the mountains, but we ran into some bad luck. She took a tumble while she was skiing down a hill and fell and hurt her skull. Now she's in a coma, and doctors say that she's doomed to be a vegetable for many years. I know for sure that Laura didn't want to live like this, but her parents refused to respect their daughter's wishes. They say they don't want to let her die. Now they're not even letting me go to her room. Can you imagine? So I'm asking for your help one more time. Send two of your sneakiest cops to visit the hospital. Have them slip into the ward and disconnect my Laura from her life support system. Someone has to release her from the prison of her broken body. You can only get into the room from the roof down the outside of the building and through the window. Her parents are on duty at the door around the clock, hoping that Laura wakes up. I know that this is a big favor to ask and it could be risky, but I'm willing to pay whatever it takes without hesitation. Okay, let's send no, not a leave. Let's send Adkins and McGuire. Animal abuse at Thomas Piccoli's mill. There's the sound of a wailing horse neigh over at the mill. A passerby believes that someone is torturing horses there. I've lived here a long time and I've always hear how those poor animals suffer. They're mercilessly exploited at that damn mill. I think this is a false alarm. I'm just gonna ignore it. A big jeep is swerving across the road. A hand holding a gun is stuck out of the driver's window. Okay, order the driver to stop. Salnikov. The cop managed to persuade the offender to stop and surrender to the police. It turned out that the man went on his shooting spree out of sheer boredom. We got some heroin, some cocaine, and some marijuana. Wow, you're mixing stuff, huh? Okay, let's up your intelligence. Let's finish up your shooting. Now you're perfect. We have the assault with a deadly weapon at the Beltway. An armed gypsy on a horse-drawn cart is pursuing a car that cut him off. Loftus, Percy, Meridian, Horsemoon, Valentine, and Pen can go. Nash, we made our way into her room and turned off the girl's life support. But what if she was going to recover? They're making new advances in medicine every day. You see the movies. In 20 years, the criminals will be driving flying cars for real. Even in our backwoods hospital, we've got a computer. Anyway, I got a bad feeling from all this. The girl's husband burst into tears when he found out that it was all over. But he thanked us and he said we were like family now. Got 5K. Animal abuse at the forest. A forest ranger spotted a man carrying a gun, though hunting season hasn't opened yet. Mulligan, Clayton, Williams, Sullivan, Salnikov, and Demers go. Patrick Saab, Trailer Park. We didn't even have time to settle into our new meditation camp when some representatives of the concerned public came to us saying that we are engaged in devilish acts. They told us that if we don't pack our things and get out of town, they'll burn our camp down while we're sleeping. I tried to explain to them that we don't wish anyone evil and we're not even taking new members right now. But the people's hatred and fear of the unknown seems to have prevented them from hearing me. But I'm sure, Mr. Nash, that you can help us. You must have a master negotiator, a person who can solve any conflict without resorting to violence. Send him to these poor people. I hope he can find the right words and can put out the fire of hatred that burns in their souls. We don't want to have to move again. Okay, let's send Aronovich. Attempted murder at Jameson Hill. A crying boy shouted, "My nanny is trying to kill me," into the emergency line, then hang up. Okay, I believe this is a false alarm, so I'm gonna ignore it. No one harmed any animals. Bill Buckler's youngest daughter brought a new stallion from the farm for a walk. He turned stubborn and objected all the way. The mill of the late Thomas Piccoli has been abandoned for a long time. They say he refused to share something with his brother Ralph, and their family died as enemies. A gypsy is standing on a horse-drawn cart, racing at full gallop. He has a whip in his waistband, holds the reins in one hand, and a musket in the other. Jeez. The offender is aiming at an elderly car driver who is desperately trying to break away from the chase. Okay, let's order the gypsy to stop. I love this.
531
The
complete.
gypsy listened to the cop, pulled the wagon over, and surrendered. Let's work on your intelligence. Let's work on your strength. Let's work on your speed. Nash, I handled everything. The wild bunch won't be burning down their harmless little meditation camp. However, in order to get to talk with them, I had to have some drinks with them. Please excuse the fumes. Alright. Got 1,000 for that.
557 in progress.
Bomb threat at Jameson Hill. A one-eyed woman is trying to blow up her insurance agent's house. French, Brady, Goathorn, Titus, Randon, and Ferretti go. Receiving stolen property at Central Post Office. Miss Buckler claims that the postman is stealing her packages. Nikki, Woolbeck, Goodwin, Springer, Guildenstern, and Borodka go. Shots and screams echo through the forest. The policeman spots a man carrying a rifle. He seems to be finishing off some small animal. Behind him is a huge boar, but the poacher hasn't seen it. Okay, let's hurry toward the poacher. Sound the cove? The cop runs to the poacher and pushes him out of the way. The poacher falls and hits his head against a tree and loses consciousness. The boar rushes past, but circles around and now it's running straight for the cop. Okay, let's scare off the wild boar with pepper spray. Mulligan.
536 complete.
The sharp smell frightens the wild boar and it runs back into the thicket. The cop arrested the poacher as he was coming around after his collision with the tree. Let's up your speed. Let's up your speed. Miss Buckler yells, "This is the third one that got lost in the post. I just know that drunk is stealing them. I bet he stuffs packages in his desk or still has them in his bag. You're the police, do something." The postman denies everything. Let's search the postman's desk. The keep. The cop searched the postman's desk and did, in fact, find a parcel addressed to Miss Buckler. The postman, meanwhile, ran for the exit. Well, alright, I won't chase you then. The keep.
556
The
complete.
cop caught up with and arrested the postman. Now Miss Buckler will receive all of her packages. Got some coffee, some chocolate, some cigarettes. The boy wasn't in any danger. His nanny, a high school student, had invited him to play cops and robbers, and the boy took the game too seriously and decided to call for help from the real police. Okay. A woman with a black-eyed patch is threatening to lob a grenade onto the porch of her insurance agent's house. A heavy-set man in his underwear is on his knees, begging the woman for mercy. Some scared children can be seen through the window of the house. Sneak up on the woman. French.
557 complete.
The cop managed to sneak up on the suspect and neutralize her. It turns out that the insurance company failed her to pay for her insurance claim after she got into an accident and lost her eye. Let's up your strength. Rafa Ganem, warehouse. Mr. Nash, I'm being watched. I've known it for a long time. At first I thought I was imagining it, but now I'm sure. Those bastards in hoods are always sneaking around right under my windows. I bet they were hired by one of my competitors. It drives them crazy that I can make their monthly proceeds in a single day. It's because I choose the right products and don't just offer canned food to deal with these hoods. I need 2 of your sharpshooters. I already know the ideal positions for them. They just need to not miss. Money is no problem. What do you think? Alright, Adkins. McGuire. Mr. Nash, this lady made us feel so paranoid that we shot the first guy who peered in the doorway, and it turned out that it was just a neighbor coming out for a smoke. Pretty awkward situation, but at least it was just a minor injury. He'll live with a bullet in the ass. After all the fuss, the lady somehow calmed down and sent us off with our reward, so it wasn't a complete waste. Alright. Got 2K. Nice. It's time to send Fry's check. Did you scrape enough together? Yep. End of the day. Do 1 out of 57 cops. Let's go.
Still want to hear that story? The story about the DeVroom painting? Get ready. Let's go have that beer. It's a long story.
I knew you'd do it, Mr. Boyd. I knew you'd finally decide to give me some time.
Really?
And you're doing it because you're a man with a conscience. You feel guilty. Guilty for the night when you left me alone in the middle of the field. Now, you can act like a heartless dictator, Mr. Boyd, and I understand why you need to. Makes a big impression on most people anyway. We need to keep everyone in suspense, right? Fear and respect, the basis of order. Isn't that what they say? Or is it something else? Well, never mind. Anyway, but you couldn't manage to fool me, Mr. Boyd. I always knew. Caesar is merciful. Caesar spared Massilia. Caesar is a gentle ruler. Caesar never...
I'll be in the car.
I'm right behind you. Caesar the merciful! Hail, merciful Caesar!
Luna didn't come into work. McGuire did not. Woolbeck did not. Kimmel did not. Mulligan did not. Drug possession at the Central Post Office. A postal clerk noticed a large man unpacking bags of white powder from a shipping package. It's just like in the movies about drug dealers. I think this is a false alarm, so I'm gonna go ahead and ignore it. Patrick Sav, Forrest, Mr. Nash, you are truly the guardian angel of our meditation camp, and like all good angels, you're entitled to your reward. I know that somewhere in Sharpwood Forest grows the legendary Pyrrhus flower, which has the power to open the third eye. These flowers would be useful not only to members of our commune, but also to your cops. They'll instantly have an advantage against any criminal. Send 2 of your guys to look for the flowers. Pick a couple who are smart and attentive, real pathfinders. Tell them to look for Garnsburg black oaks. The Pyrrhus flower grows only under them, okay? Let's send Galilahi and Aronovich. Mr. Nash, things are going great at the theater. Here's your share, 107. Driving under the influence at the bus stop, eyewitness report that a bus driver arrived at the bus stop very drunk. Williams, Hallis, Kurosawa, Loftus, Percy, and Locheka go. A crowd of unhappy people late for work are gathered outside a bus. A drunk bus driver sits at the wheel, first opening then closing the bus doors in their faces. Order the driver to exit the vehicle. Hallis.
513
The drunk driver obeys the cop, stops goofing around, and surrenders to the police. The crowd will have to wait for the next bus. We got some whiskey. Let's finish off your shooting. Let's give you some stealth. Let's work on your stealth. The man was shipping bags of protein powder, which he mixes with water and drinks when he's training. Suspicious individual at Jormungandr Lake. A schoolboy called in, reporting with a happy voice, "Hurry, an alien just came up from the bottom of the lake." I believe that's a false alarm. I'm gonna ignore it. Those flowers were easy to find. The hint about the black oaks helped. Mr. Saab taught us the recipe for a Pyrrhus flower tincture and told us to bring it back for the other guys at the station. I don't know about you, but they didn't have to ask me twice. Now all your cops will be able to perform additional actions per move. Be careful not to waste them. What the schoolboy mistook for an alien was actually a man in an old diving helmet who, for some reason, was diving in an ice hole. Attempted murder at Rosemary Medical Center. A man is threatening to throw his newborn son out the window. He claims that the child isn't his. Williams, Hallis, Loftus, Percy, Meridian, Locheka, go. A jug-eared man is holding a crying newborn by his leg out the window. "You were fucking Lewis, weren't you?" shouts the man to his wife. "Look, the kid already has his disgusting smirk. The mother of the child is denying everything." Let's run for the child. Alice.
526
The cop managed to
complete.
reach the child before the offender dropped it. The man suddenly burst into tears and surrendered to the police. "It's that whore's fault. I don't have an ounce of hatred in my heart. The kid has nothing to do with it." We got some instant formula, some diapers. Let's up your speed. Let's up your negotiation. It's the end of the day. 55 out of 57 cops. Let's go.
First Deputy Nash.
Hey, Jack, listen, I know it's a strange question, but I don't have anyone else to ask. Have you spoken to Moreno lately?
I'm not sure.
It's just that he hasn't been in touch, and normally he checks in every day. Did he come to work?
To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. Usually he's not here when I come in, and he's already gone by the time I leave.
But he's the dispatcher there, among other things, right? Have you heard his voice on the radio?
I didn't pay much attention. Sometimes one of the other guys covers for him, so I'm not sure. I just don't know.
Oh, okay, there's nothing to worry about, nothing at all. This isn't the first time. This one girl he sees off and on. One time he up and took her someplace for a week and didn't tell me anything. I didn't kill him at the time, but this time I'm going to. I'm telling you, I'll strangle him with my own hands. You remember if a girl came by the station recently?
I think
A redhead with pigtails, wagging her hips all over the place. You'd have to remember it.
I think that, yes, you know, probably. Maybe. I remember something. I'm not sure, but it's possible. Maybe if you want,
Forget it, Jack. Forget it. We didn't need to get all worried about that son of a bitch, did we? After all, why do we need some asshole to run my errands when I have first deputy?
True, right. I'm sure he'll show up soon. Now, I need to get back to work, so...
Yes, Jack. I'm sorry. Sorry. See you later.
Kurosawa didn't come into work. Dolce didn't come into work. Mulligan didn't come into work. I'm not reading that spread, look, no. Attempted robbery at Apollo Stowe's Cafe. The waitress reports that a black visitor is intending to rob the cafe. That is a false alarm. I'm gonna ignore it. Mr. Nash, things are going great at the theater. Here's your share, $486. Thank you. Alright, after selling everything I can, I ended up with 112k. These other items we can't quite sell because Lori isn't quite working right now. Drug sales at Volvo Drugstore. An informant reports that the pharmacist is selling marijuana indiscriminately. Clayton, William, Salnikov, Loftus, Kimmel, Valentin go. Suicide threat at the rail station. An elderly man says that a teary-eyed girl is sitting on the tracks. It seems she intends to commit suicide. I think this is a false alarm, so I'm also gonna ignore this. A young black guy, he wasn't planning on a robbery. He was just sitting there without ordering anything, waiting for his friend. There was no girl on the tracks, and the train to Sharpwood station hasn't run for many years.
556 in progress.
Receiving stolen property at the trailer park. The owner of the trailer park suspects that one of his tenants is stealing food from his neighbors and storing the stolen goods in his trailer. Sullivan, Penkin, Percy, Maradian, Freddy, Locheca go. There's a long line of people outside the pharmacy. They all look like drug addicts. Let's quietly get in line. Actually, Sanikov. When it was finally the cop's turn, he enters the pharmacy. Upon seeing the policeman, the pharmacist runs for the back door. Chase after him. Yeah, Salikov go.
563.
The cop
complete.
catches up with the pharmacist and arrests him. Under the counter, he had a sizable supply of marijuana. Marijuana. Let's up your stealth. Let's up your intelligence. Let's up your stealth. Vanessa Lindstrom, Sycamore Street. Teaching children is normally a thankless job, but not with Valdez Succesny. The boy is made of gold. He always listens attentively to his lessons and completes all his homework carefully. If a quarter of Sharpwood students were like him, well, I'd have faith in the future of our town. But nobody else wants to study. They all grow up like Valdez's father, Wojciech Succesny. He dropped out of school to get a job at the woodworking factory until he was fired for drunkenness. And now, Wojciech is so twisted by drink that he's forbidden Valdez from going to school. He said that he wouldn't buy devilish science, but instead wants the boy to live in harmony with forest spirits, and as a simple worker like his daddy. I know all this because I went to Valdez's home and tried to talk reason to the father. But he just stared at me like a bull and said that he would beat all his clever stuff out of Valdez if he ever went back to school. Mr. Nash, you are this boy's last hope. I'm asking you, please send your most convincing cop to talk with the boy's father. Maybe he'll listen to a real professional and let Valdez return to school. If you could help the poor boy, I'd be ready to break open my piggy bank and I'll even give you a TV. I don't watch television, and I don't advise you to either. Okay, let's send Galilahi. The trailer door is closed. There's a pile of pie boxes next to the door. The trailer's windows are covered with grills and dense curtains, and inside it's all quiet. Let's pick the door lock. Percy. The cop picks the lock and enters the trailer. It's dark and there's an old carpet on the floor covering something. At the other end of the trailer, the man jumps up from his chair and rushes towards the mirror. The window, sorry. Shoot the suspect with a taser, Sylvan.
556.
The cop
complete.
stunned the suspect with a taser shot. Got some tuna and some soup. Mr. Nash, I talked to the boy's father and helped him understand that he was standing in the way of his son's bright future. We'll have no more problems with Daddy. The boy was very happy and said that now he wants to be a cop when he grows up. As brave and strong as I am. It feels good. Maybe the idea will stick and he really will work at our station someday. Nice, Galilahi. Receive TV and $200. Let's up your strength. Mr. Nash, I managed to find the exact explosive device you asked for. It's very reliable, not too large, easy to install, activates a few seconds after the engine starts, and it's suitable for motorcycles and snowmobiles. For clients like you who pay up front and don't get greedy, I can get anything. Thanks, Rafa. And that is the end of the day. Defensive battle. Choose your 10 cops who will defend the station house tomorrow when Henderson's army attacks. Okay, I chose Aleve, Age, Hodges, Atkins, Rosencrantz, McGuire, Demers, Aronovich, Flower Pots, and Shinny.
Oh, seriously, Seymour? Again? At this rate, we won't get to the bra till Easter?
Well, I can't turn it off, baby. I can't. But I can send them to hell. Where should I send them, my dear, huh? Just tell me, dear. I'll give them all your curses verbatim. We'll send them to where they can never bother us again. And then we'll get to that bra.
You have 5 seconds.
What?
One-time payment, 300,000. 300,000, and I don't want to hear anything more about you or about the feds on my tail. And I need decent documents. Call your friend from the ministry.
Friend? Friend from the ministry? What are you talking about?
Well, that's it. God, Gilda. And you left your own business for this?
You were fencing stolen electronics. Gilda, my dear, do we have to go through all this again? This is an important client.
Mm-hmm. I hope your important client can shake their tits the way you like.
It's gonna cost a lot more than 300,000, Jack. A lot more. $1 million at least.
$1 million? Don't you think I can't find someone who'll get rid of my problems for 300,000? Don't you think I can find someone who'll get rid of you for 300,000? Good night, Fry.
Stop, Jack. Hey, just wait a second. Wait. I got excited. Worked up, okay? You just called in an awkward moment. But, you know, I've called you at uncomfortable moments. I know that. I admit it. Let's say we're even, all right? Even? 700,000.
400.
500. 500,000, Jack. $500,000. Not too much and not too little, huh?
Done. You can come up personally when you have the documents.
Of course, Jack. Of course I can't.
Oh, thought you could steal my tape recorder, you creep? What a petty fucker you are, Seymour.
You left it here. What do I need with
You were glad I left it, weren't you? You're getting it appraised right now, aren't you? Well, I can see right through you, Seymour.
You know what, Gilda? Go. Go and take your tape recorder with you along with your bra and your stupid grudges. Go back to your criminals if you can't stand being with a real man who does real work. Run back to your buddy Kravitz. I'm sure he's got a couple of stolen TVs for you.
Buy a bus ticket to Nurking. That's the closest place to Big Rift where traffic goes past. My guys will meet you. When you know exactly when you'll be arriving, call me. And don't forget the documents.